Hopefully this finale fixes my disappointment. Before we get to today's video, I want to take a moment to talk about Patreon. That's right, we are on Patreon now, and we have a bunch of tiers with a bunch of great rewards. You can subscribe and get things like early access to all reactions, depending on your tier, depends on which reactions you get early access to. You can vote on polls exclusive to patrons that will help determine future reaction series and more. You will get to just have various choices in terms of like getting to choose future reactions I react to, getting to choose first impressions I check out, all kinds of different rewards, and possibly more coming in the future. We're still new at this. We're still figuring things out. It's a process. It's a process. But we have multiple tiers, so whatever you would be able to donate, if you're able and willing to donate, is appreciated. It helps me out, it helps the channel out, it helps us grow. It's going to help just, standardly. It's just something new to check out. Plus, if you like getting the reactions early, that's also a plus. But it is optional. If you're unable to do it, that's completely fine. All reactions will come to YouTube just a little bit later, a week later or so. So that all being said, thank you as always so much, and let's get on with today's video. And with that being said, hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to episodes 17 and 18 of Lucifer Season 2. The final two episodes, we are doing both today, though they will be linked separately in the description, just to make it easier so I don't have to have too long of a video. It makes it easier to upload and everything. Or maybe I will put them all into one video. I don't know. By the time you see this, you could just check the description and see if it's one video or two. I don't know. It might be easier to just do one video, because then I have less to actually upload. We'll see. In the meantime, though, last episode kind of left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. I talked about it last time, but basically it just felt like it was a waste of time. As much as as good as the episode was, the ending felt like it just pulled the rug out from under me, and I just felt cheated. I felt completely cheated, and I was just left immeasurably disappointed by it. So I feel like I feel like this is one of those cases where honestly, we should just probably get this going. We should probably just get this going and hope for the best, and hope that these final two episodes just leave me in a better place. Because I just recorded the last one. I'm recording these at the same time. So it's like I literally, all I've done since recording was go to the restroom and grab a package off the porch. Otherwise it's directly after I recorded the last episode. So still kind of in that mood of disappointment. But hopefully things start to turn out better. And hopefully this finale, I don't know, gets me a little happier with the state of things. Let's check it out and see for ourselves. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. Welcome to the Afterthoughts. We'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, we concluded the story, the arc with Lucifer's mom. That's over. She's gone to another dimension, another reality, another universe, however you want to put it, and is going to create her own world, her own universe. It's a complete fresh start moving forward rather than backwards, trying to get back into heaven and, causing a lot of problems with that. It is a complete new beginning for her. And like Lucifer kind of made clear, it's like that's probably the best case scenario. As was said, it's like if they went up to heaven and a war started, there'd be death, there'd be casualties. She would lose some of her children. And she doesn't want that. And he knew she doesn't want that. This was the best case scenario for that. To stop that from happening, but allow her to get out of this universe because she's falling apart. She's not able to, with her powers coming back, she's not able to stay in Charlotte's body anymore. She already caused one death. The other one, Ava's death, wasn't even her. That was just an unfortunate accident. No, Chet was the accident. Ava was was Chet's brother getting revenge with a blowtorch, mimicking the other death. So yeah. But yeah, I think it was the best case scenario for her getting out of there. I'm glad I did these 2 episodes together too. I was kind of debating, but I decided to do them together because of the timing of this. Like I said in the pre-thoughts for those who watched, it just works out that way. And for those who didn't watch, basically what I said was that it works out for what's going to be replacing this in terms of timing. So it just made the most sense to do it that way. And I'm glad I did, because these last 2 episodes really worked together. With, Chet and his family being, like, important to both episodes and being a massive factor. Though this last one was also very focused on Lucifer and his family, obviously. And a lot going on with that. And of course you had the big cliffhanger ending with Lucifer somehow having his wings back after being knocked out and dropped in a desert following whatever was happening, or what was going to happen prior. Because he was about to go prove himself to Chloe, to prove everything he said about being actual Lucifer Morningstar, actual devil. He's going to prove it all true. But, yeah, all of this happened first. He was, Breaking Baded into a desert. And now, I don't know. I don't know what's coming next, so. I still feel a little disappointed. Like, this finale was better than the preceding episode 16. Because at least it didn't, goad me into a false sense of what was going to be coming, like episode 16 did, and then pull the rug out from under me. But, I don't know, it just felt like things worked out a little too cleanly, if that makes sense. It just feels like things were a little, easy. Because even with the Divine Goddess, kind of going crazy and, threatening Chloe and everything, it's like it really didn't amount to too much. Honestly, it was a bigger, there was more tension with, trying to rescue Linda. Because of, her not having time to get to the hospital, so Amenadiel stopping time. That's probably the more tense part of it all. Because Chloe is like one of the most like protected characters in this series. Like her and Lucifer have more plot armor than anyone else like combined. So we know nothing's going to happen to her. And Dan definitely doesn't really have a chance of dying either. Linda, I don't think would die. Like I said, there's definitely plot armor there. But there's less than with other characters. And so, again, there was more tension. There was more actually to worry about, even though I figured it would end fine. But still. The entire thing in episode 17 about the Ruiz family and the tequila being like a front for the trafficking and whatnot that they do was very minimized. And that was a little disappointing as well, because it felt like that could have been a really interesting plot line to follow that could have lasted even longer. Think of like in season 1 how there was the plot line with Chloe's father's killer and all of that, how that was an ongoing narrative throughout the entire season. I feel like the Ruiz family trafficking stuff and all could have continued on further, and maybe it will. Maybe there will be more of it in the future. But it feels like it was just kind of like waved off to the side in favor of focusing on, you know, Lucifer and his family, which again is like the main plot. But I feel like these like case of the week things sometimes take a hit for that. And some of them are so interesting and could have so much depth to them that I feel like it's hard to do a series like this where you have a case of the week structure and an ongoing major narrative at the same time, because it's like trying to balance out both and make them both interesting is difficult, especially when it comes to like a finale like this. I almost feel like the case of the week stuff should have been dropped from this finale. Focused more on like Charlotte and what everything going on with her, and just not had this Ruiz stuff at all. Like it didn't mesh well, and I feel like the Ruiz stuff took a major hit in like how much attention it was given because of that, and it made it almost feel pointless. It just didn't feel as important and didn't feel as like living up to its potential as I feel like it should have. I feel like it should have focused just entirely on the stuff with the family, and maybe like having Charlotte accidentally killing Chet earlier than it happened, so that both episodes could focus on it a little more. And then you could have like the Lucifer and Amenadiel and everyone trying to hide the fact that it was Charlotte and everything. It's like you could have done a lot more with it that would have allowed the focus to be better. That's just my view on it, though. Because again, I just feel like it was just kind of rushed past. And it was also especially the case in this one. The cleaners, practically not characters. Ava's death meant nothing because it like really didn't amount to anything, and it wasn't like focused on enough. And on top of that, her sister had like one scene, and then she just disappeared from the rest of the episode. I mean, after the initial debut, after Ava's death, her sister came in for like one scene and then disappeared the entire rest of the episode. Complete waste of time, honestly. It felt like it was just thrown in. And it sucks too, because it was Shannon Chan Kent. I would have loved to see more of her. I would have loved to see more of her in this role. But she just didn't get the opportunity because there wasn't enough time, even with this being like a 45-minute episode, there wasn't enough time to focus on her. because they had to focus on everything with Lucifer and his mom and saving Linda. And it's just like, it's just something that needed more time and needed more like focus. I did like Maze in these episodes, but I've liked her this entire season. I like her just reactions to Lucifer and them fighting, and um also like her absolute desperation to help Linda because she loves her. They're friends. They're very close. So it's like I like seeing how much Maze has grown. Again, I talked about this in like previous episodes of this season, and it's just she's become one of my favorite characters because of her growth and her depth and everything that they've done with her. Like there's the episode where I think it was Trixie, it might have been no, I think it was Trixie, who was like very accepting of her, and it made her like it warmed her heart so like visually, and it was like one of the most beautiful scenes of this series. And then you see here when Amenadiel reaches Linda's office, and you see Maze kneeling there beside her, and she's just like crying and softly begs, "Help me." It's like it's just that kind of softness, that kind of vulnerability that I love seeing in her now. That I love seeing Maze have reached the ability to have. And I mean, hell, her fight with Lucifer was based entirely on the fact that Lucifer had hurt her feelings and everything. And so it's great to see this kind of development. And again, she's like definitely one of my favorite characters. I don't know the exact order at this point. It'd be difficult to say. But her and Linda are definitely in the top three. The other one who's in the top three is a little harder to pin down. I kind of lean towards Lucifer himself at points. I lean towards Chloe at points. And it's just sometimes I've even been leaning towards Ella. I think her name is the forensics girl, who I didn't trust in season one. By the way, I remember not trusting her at first, and I've kind of grown to kind of love her because her perkiness has worked on me. It's very much won me over. But I remember not trusting her at first. I felt she was like suspicious. But yeah, I just feel like this finale could have been better. It could have like given more time. There were some great moments in it, but that's where it really that's what it really comes down to. There were great moments, but I would not say the episodes themselves were overall great. And that's my problem with it. I feel like these episodes, this finale could have been so much better. And it just feels like wasted potential. Or at least potential not fully lived up to. It wasn't bad by any means. It just wasn't as good as it should have been. But like I said, there were definitely some great moments in the episodes. And so at least there's that. And it kept me entertained. It kept me like very much focused. I didn't have a problem continuing to follow along. So, yeah. Really, really did enjoy a lot of this. But now we come into the part where we have to wait for season 3. I know we took quite a break during season 2 there, and I didn't come back to it for a lot longer than I was planning. But we're not going straight into season 3 because I don't tend to do that. And especially because there's other stuff coming out. With this spring season of anime coming, there's some new stuff that's going to be airing. that I'm interested in there. But then there's also stuff coming this month for March, like even before the spring season of anime starts. And one of those is not actually anime, but it is anime adjacent. And that's what we're going to be replacing Lucifer with. We will get to Lucifer Season 3 in the future, but for now, we're going to be moving on to Season 2 of the One Piece live action. Not a surprise. You all knew this was coming, and this was a priority show for me anyway, so I probably would have like put something else on hold if I didn't have this timing working out. But this should be going live on, I think, YouTube? Or is it live on Patreon? Either Patreon or YouTube on the week that that One Piece live action starts. And so, because of that, I should either be able to get the One Piece live action up same day as this, at least for episode 1, if I don't want to wait. Because I've done that before with some things. Or the very next week. Obviously, you'll see, but yeah, that One Piece live action is taking over for Lucifer Season 2. And I'm excited to get to it. I mean, I loved the first season, so I'll talk more about that when we get to that, though. Like I said, tell me your thoughts on this finale, these final 2 episodes of Season 2 of Lucifer. Let me know what your thoughts on the characters were, on the Ruiz plot line. What did you think of how that was handled? What did you think of the closure to everything with Lucifer's mom? Let me know your thoughts on all of that and more. And as always, no spoilers. Because, again, we will be getting to Season 3, and I don't want to know anything going forward. So, thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. I'm Connie, and for now, I'm signing off. See y'all next time.